On this hunt, Pro-Staff Jerry Penberthy invites good friend and Pro-Staff Wilbur Ramos to Chokee Plantation for an archery deer hunt. Days before Wilbur's arrival, Jerry set several Cuddeback cameras in hopes of getting a mature buck on picture. Within days, the Cuddeback pictures began to pile up, and Wilbur's chance for a mature Georgia giant have suddenly increased to his favor.
We're hunting here on the edge of this peanut field where several nice big Georgia giant bucks have been spotted by the local farmer who's been planting this harvesting and planting this peanut field, and we hope that we can harvest one of these big giants today.
This morning we're hunting Chokee Plantation. We're hunting right on the edge of a peanut field, about 75 yards in front of us. It's a natural funnel right here behind me.
Moments after settling into my stand, I caught quick movement to my left in the thick brush. Knew it was a big body deer, was not quite sure how big until another smaller buck approached. And started hitting the grunt rapidly, trying to get his attention. He was so engrossed in eating the shrubbery there that he didn't hear me the first time, so I grunted again. He quickly turned and faced towards me. And then that's when I realized the quality of this buck. And I knew I had a good one on my hands, if I could just get him to come into me.
He's coming.
As the deer started approaching closer to my stand, I wasn't quite sure which path he was going to take. Stopped behind bushes and big trees, and I paused for a moment trying to get my position ready for the deer. Once he committed to the left, I took the opportunity to draw as he walked behind a big tree. After a solid hit, what I thought was a solid hit, the deer jumped, ran about 5 yards or so, and just started milling around. I started second guessing myself at the moment. Wow, I'm gonna have this deer fall down right here in front of me. He never did. He proceeded to walk away from me. I quickly grabbed another arrow, knocked it, and presented me with a 40-yard shot as he was walking to my left again.
It's a nice buck. The first shot went through him. He was wounded mortally. I put a second one in him just in case. I think he's over there. I can see my knock. We're gonna give him some time. But man, I am so pumped. First big buck of the season. Matthew C7, baby.
It was about 7 a.m. when I got a text from Wilbur saying big buck down. Being the big prankster that he is, I wasn't too certain. So I waited a couple hours. Curiosity was killing me to get there, check this big buck out. So I got there about 10 a.m. and was convinced when I saw the bloody arrow.
I started trailing the deer. I kept finding big puddles of blood, more blood, till it got down to pin drops of blood. We trailed for about 2 hours. I again was at the lowest point of the whole hunt at this time, thinking that I had just shot a great buck twice and won't be able to find him. With the river nearby, the Flint River, I just knew that this deer had swam the river and went to somebody else's property. We trailed, and we finally come to a point where we gave up. As we was walking back, I noticed one little iota of a speck blood in the black muck, and I reached down, swallowed it with my finger, and it was blood. We didn't give up then. We hesitated for a second, regrouped, and started tracking again. 20 yards into my walk, looking for specks of blood, I looked up and there was my deer. As I ran up to him, the ground by the horns, the deer stood up almost to an upright position, laid down, and that's when I hollered at Jerry to bring my bow.
We sat there, debated a little bit about whether to shoot the deer or to back out. Like I said, after about 2.5 hours of tracking, we were hot and ready to go home and get something to eat. So I talked Wilbur into shooting an arrow into the deer that might have been the worst mistake I'd made.
After placing the third and final shot, the deer jumps up and dives right off a 30-foot cliff into the Flint River.
I took off running down the bank of the river about 100 yards to try to cut the deer off from the current, and found myself in the river. Cell phone, rangefinder, everything in my pocket, and I'm going to be sending you a bill for that, Wilbur.
A little bit, about 15 more yards. 15 to your right. He's got it. Yeah!
Here.
Woo!
Let me go help him. Hold this for me.
That was a great feeling, I know, for me. I know it was for Wilbur, picking that horns up and holding it in my hand. We knew we put an ending to this hunt.
These are the rewards of the 9-point that I shot this morning on video. We trailed the deer. I had a kind of a far back shot. We didn't get a chance to review the video, but it looked like it was a liver shot mainly. And the second shot penetrated the shoulder on the opposite side. And we trailed the deer, and he was laying right up on the riverbank. We shot him, and then he jumped and went into the river immediately. And I videotaped as much as I could, and he drowned out here on the shoals. So, but I mean, this is a beautiful 9-point. Look at the mass on this thing. He's got 4.5 inch between his G2 and his G3s. Big body deer, and as far as his rack, he's probably in the 140 range. Beautiful.
Mass. That's a heavy deer.
Heavy mass. We've got some monster deer up here at this plantation, and we were hunting this morning on the edge of a peanut field, like I said, and we got the Flint River, which is right behind me, about 100 yards behind me, and this deer just come on in, and I grunted him in. Unbelievable. October 1st, October 2nd, I've never grunted a deer that early down here in the south. But successful hunt, beautiful deer. We're going to take them home with us.
After a successful bow hunt, Wilbur returns to Chokee Plantation with his wife Ibi, who is trying to get her first deer ever. On the first morning, they spot a buck coming within bow range, but unfortunately it's too small to shoot. Hours pass when Ibi spots another buck in the distance. She quickly puts down her Matthews bow and picks up the TC rifle. The buck disappears, when suddenly Ibi begins to hear something walking closer.
The Thompson Center. Thompson Center, baby. She busted him.
Oh my God.
Good shot, man. But what happened was the deer was walking away. We had her bow in our hand, and as soon as we saw the deer leaving away, I told her, well, let's shoot him with the rifle. And I grunted to get him to stop him. Lo and behold, he started coming on in. So
I told you, there's something coming. Oh my God.
well, I tell you what.
And sure, it was something coming right there.
Good job, baby.
Oh my God.
Good job. We're gonna go see if we can find him here in a second.
Oh my God, I can't even believe that this is just unreal. This is my first deer ever, and this is is the reward of hunting in Chokee Plantation. I wasn't expecting for a deer like this to be my first one, but I always have high expectations, but this is just, this blows me away.
This is my wife's first buck and first deer ever, and the Thompson Center Venture 308 and the Winchester Supreme XP3, an incredible knockdown. I mean, this deer from impact, you can just see just blood explode on both sides of the deer, but we had a great time. Again, so long, hunting Colablanca. Catch you later. I want to take the opportunity to thank Fred and Mark Taylor of Chokee Plantation for giving us the opportunity, the Team Colablanca TV crew, to come out here and hunt this fall and this spring for turkey season. We had a fabulous time here. The most memorable hunt of my life happened here at Chokee Plantation.